And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. Inside Sports Fantasy Football, where we'll be covering NFL free agency in the month of March. Also, as well, Mr. L.A. Slappy right there. You can find him at Sox1947 at LakersBall.com. Yeah, he's giving you that big smile. Plus, he's got a company he needs you to support out there. Simblades, showed off, man. Simblades with a Y.com. We should get a lot of people watching today because the Lakers beat the Clippers, thank goodness, with an amazing fourth quarter comeback. So go ahead and join him there. Plus, after the post game, please join him for a talk about Sopranos and also as well the Lakers and Clippers. Honoring the Sopranos on Lakers Nightcap is Joe Soro at 11 p.m. Pacific, coming up right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Also as well, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo, support him. Lakers in 5, Empire Jeff TV, the Lakerholics crew of Laker Tom and Jamie Sweet. Our good friend, John Costa. Go ahead and check him out at Lakers Corner Clutch Talk. John McCallion. Support all those great channels and support ours by liking, following, subscribing. 5-star review. We need many 5-star reviews out there. We only have a few for the Lakers Fast Break. And I know a ton of people listen to our show and have. I'm closing in on 200,000 audio downloads. So don't tell me you don't have time to go ahead and give us that 5-star review, especially because this guy right over here gets a lot of negative star reviews. So go ahead and make sure you give us 5-star reviews to offset that wherever you get your podcast. Plus also as well, of course, everyone out there, subscribe today. Click on the little Joe above the big Joe that he's pointing at to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break podcast. Dante, I will be happy that the Lakers pulled off an amazing victory today after looking pathetic in the first half with some terrible defense, terrible effort. Terrence Mann jumping and running right around the Lakers. Lakers looking befuddled in the first half, giving up a really, really bad performance in the first half of the Lakers, with the Clippers outscoring them in the Battle of LA, 66-52. But the Lakers came back strong. Started in the third quarter as far as the Lakers at the end starting to show some signs, but the Clippers still outscored them. But when the Lakers turned it on, it was LeBron James summoning the fountain of youth with 7 3-pointers, 34 points. I believe he got, 19 or 20 points in that final stanchion. Anthony Davis chipped in with 20 and 12. Rui Hashimura with some key baskets, especially a 3 down the stretch. D'Angelo Russell, a key 3 as well. And the Lakers pulled off a miraculous comeback down by 20 at various points during the game to outscore the Clippers 39-16 in the final regular season game with both as co-tenants in the Staples/Crypto.com arena. The Lakers win 116-112. They're now 32-28, back in 9th place in the Western Conference. Here today to discuss the surprising victory when it looked all but lost for the Lakers is a good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check him out today. It's Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. And of course, Simblades with a Y.com. It is Joe Soro. And Joe, glad to have you here, my friend. I am happy now, Dante. The Lakers won. After a terrible first half, they came back in that fourth quarter. What was the key driving that whole fourth quarter for the Lakers? I think it's just something like LeBron James.
LeBron James was the catalyst, but he was also able to summon his minions, and they were able to make shots when role players are supposed to make shots, when they're open, when they're passing, when they're whatever it is. Even AD was getting some key offensive rebounds in there. The fundamentals are important, folks, and the fundamentals are even as basic as making shots when you're open. And it was a surprising end. I'm not going to lie. It was an absolute surprise that they were able to come back and win this. It looked like the Clippers looked like they were thinking about their new locker rooms in Inglewood. And that's just something that we have to keep reiterating that this is the LA Clippers, folks. And I want you guys to really listen to this. Okay. The LA Clippers are the LA Clippers for a reason. The reason why they have been a loser organization as long as they have, if you wanted to know like an instance, just watch the fourth quarter again tonight. Regardless of what happens after tonight, it's the the basics are always there. Lakers sent their co-tenants for the last time with a loss, something that the Clippers have been known for more than any team in sports the last almost 40 years. I should say 40 years, actually, because they did move to LA in 1984. And the Lakers win the season series saying, this is our house. You may now leave. And that's what happened. And I'm just happy. And of course, they have Byron Scott on Sportsnet here. For those of you who don't remember, Byron Scott was traded for, or I should say, was in a trade for Norm Nixon. Him coming to the Lakers, Nixon going to the Clippers. At that time, they were the San Diego Clippers. So I know he's probably going to have something interesting to say too about how this has all come full circle now. But again, yeah, I was preparing for a funeral tonight, but I'm so happy we're not.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win with a miraculous come-from-behind victory. They were down by as many as 21 points in the fourth quarter to win 116-112. Also here today, good man indeed. You got to check out the episode that he dropped showing you what he does at Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner. It is John Costa. John, great to have you here. Everybody is in a great mood. The Clippers being sent out to wherever it is that they're going to go in Inglewood, right there with their brand new arena and all that. Forget about that. All their new uniforms and logos and all that. I do want to mention that you're got a lot of audio background noise, but as you come on, but I'll let you fix that here in just a sec. But just seems like a whole bunch of noise. That's your normal.
Sounds like the washing machine.
Yeah.
It is the washing machine. I apologize about that.
No worries. As long as it's on the gentle cycle. There you go. Absolutely. But the Lakers come from behind victory, like very few that they've done this season. Your thoughts on what propelled this game in that fourth quarter?
Dang, guys, not gonna lie, I haven't been hyped about a win like this in a long time. Like, this is just one of those great feel-good wins. I'm so happy to be here. Like, I'm always just so happy to be here to see Gerald, to see Joe, to see all the family, that's here in the chat. Like, but I'm so happy to be here because we got this win, and it was just such a I was down in the dirt, guys. Like, we were down by 18 points coming into the fourth quarter.
And we're down by as many as 21 in the fourth quarter.
Guys, like, this is crazy. It was such a great game to watch. Like, it was just, I just had a smile on my face. And then, sometimes, when LeBron is doing that little crazy thing, sometimes I'm like, all right, LeBron, chill. But that was like, I was literally watching the game with my daughter, and I'm like showing her, I'm like, do it, baby, do it. Like, because I was just so hyped too, because like, man, LeBron had it going in that fourth quarter. But the entire game, besides that, I mean, honestly, we were down, and I usually take notes, whenever I watch the game, just so I can, have something to refer to have something to think back to if I need to. And one of the top notes that I wrote for this game is the fact that we always just go down by so big in the first quarter that we end up just having to play catch-up basketball for the rest of the game. And playing catch-up basketball versus just having to play basketball like when you're tied up or straight up is two totally different things. Like, you cannot make mistakes. Like, your margin of error is tiny playing catch-up basketball. And we already have a team that makes a lot of mistakes, and we just kept making mistakes all throughout the game. And I was like, damn, now you're playing catch-up and we're making mistakes. Like, yeah, this is going to be a bad game. Also, Darvin Ham I feel like he wasn't doing a very good job of calling timeouts when Clippers went on runs, but Ty Lue was doing a great job of calling timeouts when Lakers went on runs. So I was just upset. But that fourth quarter, like, I don't know who in this chat agrees with me, or I don't know, Gerald, Joe, I know you guys, I think we've touched on this before. I don't know if you guys agree with me on this, but Y'all know I think LeBron James is my GOAT. Everything he has done and all that. We don't got to get into as to why, but when you look at what he did this game, like that was GOAT like type things. Your team is down big. You're matched up with Kawhi Leonard, the other team's best player, honcho on honcho. You go at him. You erase a 21-point deficit in 6 minutes. In 6 minutes, you erase a 21-point deficit facing the other team's best player. I don't care how you look at it, man. As go-like type things. I'm happy to be here, guys.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 116-112. Excellent comeback victory. Again, the Lakers come from behind down by as many as 21 points. Joe, in that first half, it was absolutely miserable. The Lakers, well over 10 turnovers. The Lakers, terrible on defense, effort, offensive rebounds, again, haunting the Lakers in that first half. But when it came right down to it, Joe, in the fourth quarter, something spurred on the Lakers. Yes, LeBron's performance was inspired. He started getting hot from three. Obviously, that just inflated the effort and the momentum for the Lakers. But you could see, Joe, this was not something that I don't think Ham or anybody else planned out. This was just circumstance on the court where LeBron started going crazy from three, and that just ignited the rest of the team from there on out.
Correct. It looks like they switched. The Lakers started making the extra effort, and then the Clippers had this mindset where they basically thought, well, we're up 21. They're going to have to make every shot, and we all know they can't do it. And even if they do make a little fake run, we're going to hit a couple threes and close this out. The only problem was the Lakers closed off the perimeters for the first time all game in the fourth, and they didn't come off it really for 7 to 8 minutes. And you know this because the Clippers towards the end there were forced to get to the basket. So regardless of who was making the call or whether it was a coaching adjustment or whether the players were playing with more effort, they did what they were supposed to do. In my mind, the whole time I was thinking when they went up 6, don't let them shoot threes. If you're going to let them shoot a 2, let them waste some time, go to the hole, put some effort into it, and let them, then if they make it, they make it. My only issue at first was when they came out of that timeout, when they were up 6, they let Kawhi score too quick. I don't like too quick. I'd like at least 12 to 14 seconds when there's a few minutes left in the game. But they did everything they were supposed to do. They did everything they were supposed to do, and that's all you can ask for. They played as smart as you could in the last 5 to 6 minutes, and they just happened to make these shots when they were open. My God, that D'Lo volleyball. There's going to be a new name for that, by the way. We got to figure out a new name for that volleyball shot that he does. Boy, he did not even. I mean, it was so in the middle of the cylinder. It was great. Those type of things. Those are the type of things that change seasons when you can make those shots as the secondary and third guys off of LeBron and AD. Everyone did their job. Absolutely everyone did their job. And the Laker fandom needs to understand the rest of the way that the starting lineup is our only chance. There isn't going to be anyone off the bench that's going to do anything. The only thing that could happen is Vando could miraculously be healthy at the end of the year, which I don't believe he'll be back this year. But that would be the only adjustment that Darvin.
But he's not a scorer, Joe. He's not going to.
No, but he is a good defender, and he was making some shots about a few weeks in, so he was getting there a little bit. But a little bit of defense does go a long way, and maybe Cam Reddish can help out a little bit on defense as well as he gets acclimated being back into the rotation. But at the end of games, this is going to have to be the lineup. And when the playoffs start, should the Lakers get out of the play-in, because I still believe they'll be in the play-in, they get out of the play-in and get to the playoffs, the starting 5 are going to have to play probably 40 minutes a game. They want to do this right.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching and listening. John Costa's here as well. Join John Costa on his channels, Lakers Corner and Clutch Talk. To add on to that, John. The reason why Joe is saying that in regards to a heavy reliance on the starting lineup since Rui Hashimura got inserted into the starting lineup, something that everybody in our chat has been asking for months, finally happened. And the Lakers are now 7-1 with this starting lineup. You're going to need to rely on it, as Joe said, because, like, for instance, today, the Lakers only got 14 points off their bench from 4 different players. Absolutely, it's not going to get it done as far as that end. So you have to rely heavily lineup. Your thoughts, my friend, when you see that, I guess disparity in scoring. How long can this last when you're leaning so much on your starting lineup, John?
It's even more scary for us, because I would say, it's scary for any team in the league because you're just putting all your eggs in one basket. But it's even scary for us because one of the eggs that we have is 39 years old, and you just never know what's going to happen with a 39-year-old egg. And on the other end, another egg that we have in this basket that, might I say, is very, very important is very fragile. And I want to give him his respect for playing as many games as he has played this year. And Anthony Davis played, I think that's now 56 I think he's played in 56 now of 59. So, 60. So there you go. That's great. But we can't ignore the other, 10 years of his career, 10 years of his career, where he has been extremely, fragile. So it's very scary on us that we're going to rely this much on the starting lineup, but because of reasons that I listed, when we did the Lakers midseason check-in live stream of why we're here and why we're in a tough situation. At this point, we gotta go. We gotta go until wheels fall off, until LeBron James' leg is just absolutely amputated, or until Anthony Davis can't walk. We gotta go. And if this is a lineup that's gonna help us win, let's do it. I seen somebody here in the chat. I don't want to not give them their credit, but somebody said we're 7-1 with this lineup.
I just said that a couple minutes ago.
Thank you. Thank you, Jared. Exactly. So, yeah, we're 7-1 with this lineup. I'm happy. At this point, yeah, it'd be great to have a bench. And I think if Gabe Vincent becomes something, like maybe he can give us a punch off the bench. We were early, Joe.
Yes, he and Vando have to get back on the court first. They're not even on the court yet, so that's a ways off, my friend.
Exactly, right. But and then hopefully Spencer and this is actually something I actually wanted to say. Hopefully Spencer Dinwiddie starts to get off and gives us a little bit more bench production. But more than just that, here's my take on Spencer Dinwiddie, and I want to say it now. Okay, it's February 28th. Spencer Dinwiddie's been inconsistent. I mean, not even inconsistent. He's just straight up been bad. I won't even say inconsistent. He's just straight up been bad for us. But I guarantee you guys, there will be one game where Spencer Dinwiddie goes off. I'm talking almost has a 30-point game or has 30-plus point game, and we're all gonna be talking about it. So just want to say that now before it happens. We can come back to this moment. But at the end of the day, Gerald, to answer your question, yeah, we're having to rely on this lineup, and it's scary because we have 39-year-old LeBron James and injury-prone Anthony Davis. But because we've punted games, because we've put ourselves in this position, hey, man, we got to do what we got to do. So that's what's going to win. That's what we got to do.
Joe, let me ask you this. We're so hard on Darvin Ham, deservedly so in many ways. And I know our audience has been too. In the fourth quarter, again, I give credit more to how LeBron got started off, got hot from three, started chucking up threes and making him like crazy. That really ignited the team, in my opinion. How much credit do you give to Darvin Ham as far as orchestrating anything in that fourth quarter? Because again, we were faulting Ham for not calling timeouts with the momentum was really swung to the other side, not lambasting the team when their lack of effort on the defensive and rebounding end in the first half. How much credit should we give Darvin Ham for anything that went on in the fourth quarter? You're on mute. I can't unmute you.
Darvin doesn't have a choice at this point. That's why I keep mentioning that the starting lineup is the best 5 on this team. Sometimes you can get lucky and have 1 or 2 bench guys that might be better than a couple of starters, especially in situational basketball. But this team is a starting lineup, and that's it. There isn't any depth on this team. And LeBron started the momentum by playing like LeBron does, and then Austin was clamping down on defense a little bit better, getting steals. Hachimura was running the break and making shots. AD was getting offensive rebounds or getting his hand on an offensive rebound and just disrupting anything under the basket that could allow the Clippers to get the ball and create a break or any momentum. This was a complete shutdown. You could say it all worked in unison. It was a combination of Darvin Ham letting the team do what it did by having the lineup in there. Then you had all the role players making their shots, making plays, LeBron playing like the great player he is, and then, of course, AD the same way. And then on top of that, you had the Clippers who were ready to go party tonight a little too early. So that entire thing. Plus, you have to also understand this is a Clipper home game. You guys, if you were watching the panning of the cameras, you might as well have a game at a cemetery. There's no such thing as a Clipper fan, by the way. They don't exist. They just wear stuff, but they don't really exist. There's no such thing. To me, they mean nothing. Their uniforms, their new uniforms, the insulting of the Clippers is warranted because that's just what they deserve. That's what they've been. And it all came to this quarter to really, really explain in a small detail who are the Kings and who are the Dinks, regardless of seeding. If anyone thinks this team's going to win a championship, meaning the Clippers, Gerald has a couple bridges to sell you in Arizona.
Okay. Didn't even know that, but I guess that's the case.
So send him a prospectus. We'll help you out.
Okay. Oh, I guess so. Lakers Fast Break at yahoo.com. John, let me ask you this, though. As I was going to mention here in the chat, the defense, the turnovers, the lack of effort, the offensive rebounding was terrible in that first half. Just the effort overall. Even in the third quarter, which they lost 30-25, you didn't see a huge turnaround as far as their efforts concerned. But once those threes started going in, John, from LeBron, tell us exactly. You could see not just our anticipation was growing, our excitement was growing. You could see the Lakers team on the floor. When they went to halftime, their heads were down. AD's head was down. But you could see once LeBron started hitting those threes, you could see the attitude and effort turn around. And you could see the momentum shift, like was being sucked out of the life was being sucked out of the Clippers and being transformed to the Lakers. It was absolutely beautiful to watch.
Honestly, when I say basketball is like an art, I've had people like really agree with me and be like, "Oh yeah, like I feel you," but I've also had people be like, "Yo, wait, what are you talking about? You sound stupid." But like, this is what I mean. Like, if you were really like Gerald, you just explained it so beautifully. Like, if you were really watching that game and you really like actually love basketball, like you saw the momentum swing. Like you literally, like how you said, you saw the momentum swing. And I don't even want to mispronounce this word. So when you guys come in and help me, but I think it's like pendulum or whatever.
Pendulum. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yep.
Thank you guys. Right. And man, like that's really how it felt. I mean, like all game, the Clippers were going on so many runs. Like I said in the beginning, they were up by 18 coming into the fourth quarter. We were down by 14 coming into halftime. All of these runs that like the Clippers literally owned the game. I mean, they outscored us like 36-23 in the second quarter, right? Yeah, we scored 23. Yeah, they scored 36. James Harden scored 16 points. Like I thought this game was, and then in the third quarter, we actually went on like an 8-0 run in the third quarter, and then they went on like a 10-0 run, blew this game even more open. And I'm thinking this is going to be over, but because one player starts killing, because one player turns it up, it changed the entire atmosphere in the building. Like, I guarantee every single Lakers fan in there, because like how you guys said, it was mainly Lakers fan in there, just like turned up. Like, I don't know. I'm sure it was an out of body experience, and I'm sure it was even crazier for LeBron, because that was honestly crazy, guys, to watch. And like how you said, Joe, like we're over here from our houses through our computers to our TV watching this, and
we were all set to get Joe, prepped up for another rant. It was looking bad, and that Joe was getting prepped for a rant. I was sure.
I could go for another Joe rant though. I could go for it. Joe, there's another nitpick at Joe.
No, not really. Winning cures all ills.
There you go.
And you can't. I don't give a crap about what happened in the second quarter. We're in the results business. We would be hypocrites if we sat here and said, "Well, they shouldn't have ran the pick and roll on play 4 and the 2:11 mark in the first quarter." No. The Lakers could play like garbage for 3 quarters and win, and I'd be fine. The rants come from the inability to execute to win.
Yeah.
And if we have to tolerate inadequate play for 24 minutes, yet the other 24 minutes warrants a win or results in a win, this game is about winning. And when you win, there's nothing to discuss other than, well, you guys made your bed. You were down 21 in the fourth quarter. Then you guys said, you know what? I don't like this bed. I think I'm going to redo it. And they got all the throw pillows and all the decorative ones, and they just boom, 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 systematically started putting it together. And, I could say maybe I did have a little bit of rant talking about the Clippers. I don't mind doing a rant on the Clippers. I keep hearing this discussion about how James Harden and Kawhi and all these guys are just so fabulous and so great. Win something first. I'm not talking about Kawhi in Toronto or San Antonio. I'm talking about here. James, win something. That whole second quarter act. Where were you in the fourth? Where have you been in the fourth your entire career? I'll tell you where you've been. Your thumb in your ass, and then your other arm, I don't know where. So get with it. At what point are you going to start doing things so that you can, get off that I don't even like using the word choker label because it's so easy. But how about show up in the end of the game and win? Everybody can play in the second quarter. We're talking about the fourth. You saw LeBron James channel greatness tonight. A lot of times guys as seasoned as he is can channel these kind of games, and what better way and what better time to channel that, because the Lakers just evicted the Clippers officially. They did. And I'm very happy about that because I like to send things off the right way. I wouldn't say I'm like the Bobs in Office Space where I'm a little weasel, like to, we'll fire them on Friday because statistically it shows that they're less likely to be confrontational. No. I want to be we just whooped your ass. Get the hell out of here. And that's what the Lakers did to the Clippers tonight.
I love to see it. I love it, Joe.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 116-112. They are now 32-28, ninth place in the Western Conference. John, they are now just 2 games behind the Sacramento Kings, 2.5 behind Dallas in the Western Conference playoffs. They pulled also as well within 3 games of the Phoenix Suns and New Orleans Pelicans. Your thoughts as 22 games are still on the horizon. Do they still have the time to go ahead and make a mark and seemingly get themselves out of a 9-10 playing game and put themselves maybe into a 6-7-8 seed? Do they still have that time, John?
We still have that time, and I think we can do it. But the situation that's going to happen is now we're going to have to win, and we're going to have to hope that the right teams lose. So the teams that are, we're going to have to hope that like these upcoming games for like the Kings, for the Mavericks, Pelicans, we're going to have to hope that they lose, but and we have to win. So like instead of just us winning, instead of just one thing going right now, two things are going to have to go right. So it's going to be a tall task and tough order to for us to be able to go about. I'm not going to lie. But it is possible. And at this point, I just think we need to focus on game by game. Like we all know, we've said this, hundreds of times. And then ESPN probably was watching Lakers Fast Break and then probably decided to copy us and then put it on TV, talking about the Lakers tough 10-game stretch and all that. So we all know about it. There's no point in looking back, looking forward at that. We got the Bucks coming up, or we got, all these tough teams coming up. Let's just go at it game by game. LeBron, I'm sorry, buddy, but I don't care if you're 50 years old, can't sit no more. Every game, we're gonna need you there. Unless your legs fell off, we're gonna need you there, buddy. And I'm not saying we're gonna go, 10-0 on this streak, which I would love it, but I just think that we need to at least come out of this scary 10-game streak. Upcoming games that we got coming up, at least positive out of it. And I think we have a good chance of doing this.
Joe, let me ask you this. And once again, the Lakers win 116-112. Do you see the Lakers gaining some ground? They're only two games behind the Sacramento Kings, 2.5 behind the Dallas Mavericks. Do you see the Lakers gaining any more ground tomorrow night? As we're recording this, they've got the Washington Wizards, which should be an easy game for the team that now has the worst record in the NBA. Your thoughts? Things might be looking a little bit better as the Lakers heading into this weekend. I say might.
I'm not there yet, but they have won both home games since the break, lost 2 road games, and right now
This was a road game. I know what you consider it as, but technically
it is, but I consider it a home game. This is as much as I hate to say it, the crypt. It's Staples / the crypt. This is the house Kobe and Shaq built, and 5 championships plus 1 with LeBron, and that makes it 6 in this building. And it's time to make a run at home. It's time to make a run at home, and they're due to beat Denver. They beat Denver, then they start to really feel it. They likely start to really feel that momentum and that confidence. This was a huge win. I hadn't seen them play like this in the fourth quarter all year. This was a beyond grit type game. They were relentless. They said, we cannot lose this game. That's the feeling I got from it. LeBron played a lot like Kobe tonight. It looked like a Kobe game.
Reminds me of that Golden State game from a couple weeks ago.
I don't think that I didn't look at it the same.
Although that was a more complete game from quarter to quarter.
Correct. Yeah. No, this was different. They were struggling the entire game, and they're on their last leg, and they're going, no, I'm really, really tired of this. We are really tired of this. We're gonna do something here. And then here you go. When we talk about leadership comes from play 90% of the time. There is some vocalness there, of course, but this was LeBron taking his leadership role and going, I'm going to put us in a position to win. Now, if you guys want to win this game, I'm going to make a couple shots here, and then what's going to happen is they're going to start sagging off. You guys are going to stunt this way, stunt that way, get an open shot over there, wait to the corner, draw and kick, boom, 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 started making some shots. Now, on top of that, you had defensive plays where you stole the ball more than once and got easy baskets. Folks, there's only 2 plays in basketball there's 2 plays that really kill a team that's ahead. Number 1, when you get free throws because the clock stopped, and fast breaks. That makes the comeback much quicker. And then we also live in an NBA world now where a couple threes here and a couple of shots here, boom, you're 8 points up within a couple minutes. The Lakers did to the Clippers what the Clippers were doing to the Lakers. The only problem was for the Clippers, they couldn't get out of that funk the last 8 minutes because the Lakers didn't let them. And and understand this: if the Lakers are to do what they need to do, the starting five are gonna have to play 35 to 40 minutes the rest of the way. I'm talking the rest of the way. There is no one else on the bench. The guys off the bench like Dinwiddie, Cam Reddish. I don't think Vanderbilt and Gabe Vince are coming back, by the way. Cam, Dinwiddie, Torian Prince. They put Christie in there, whatever. I don't care. Those guys are to just spell guys to rest. That's it. If you expect anything from those guys, maybe a game here and there, but not on a consistent basis. So those 5 players, if there's one thing that Darvin Ham needs to tell his team, guys, we're in a position now where only 5 guys on this team are going to have to be here in it 35 to 40 minutes a game to make a run. And that's it. That's the reality of that.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Thanks so much to everybody watching on YouTube. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so to get the latest notifications of when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break. Same thing with Twitch, Twitter, and of course, Facebook. Hello to everyone in the Philippines watching our game as far as our coverage during the game and also as well our post game. Salamat for doing so. If you do, appreciate all of our love out there from everyone in the Philippines. Salamat means thank you. Thank you, Joe. Salamat. Salamat.
Is that in Tagalog?
Yes, Tagalog.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Absolutely. You go. Absolutely. Salamat for
Didn't know you were bilingual, Gerald.
Well, it helps to have a Filipino wife that speaks 4 different dialects in the Philippines. So there you go.
Wow.
Once again, yep, absolutely. Zangerstein. There you go. Salamat. She is in the Philippines right now. Thank you. Big shout out to the Philippines, Australia, Nassau, Bahamas, Kenya. Last time around. Yes, you were in Kenya. That's right. Absolutely. But on our Sunday game, somebody from Kenya gave us a shout out. How do you feel about that, Joe? Nassau and Bahamas. So you're worldwide, Joe. You're not only going to be a poster on Cool Bros parade, you're worldwide, Joe. You're worldwide.
It's inevitable. It's just something you're going to have to accept. It's just something you're going to have to accept. If you can't handle
the stones,
if you can't handle the attention, then you should be doing something else.
If you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen, right, Joe?
And on that note,
my area of the kitchen is very open, so I've never really been very hot in the kitchen. But I get what your point is. Yes.
So tomorrow's game is against the Washington Wizards.
Now, if you can't handle the sauna, get out of the sauna. That would have made more sense because that can get hot.
Getting back to tomorrow night's game, John. It is against the Washington Wizards, the worst team in the NBA, statistically tied with the Detroit Pistons. I believe they have the same terrible record. As Joe would probably tell you, if they lose tomorrow's game, it would take everything away from whatever happened in tonight's victory. But I don't expect it.
They haven't been losing these games lately, so I'm going to go with the fact that they're probably going to be okay.
Okay. It's funny because somebody said, I'm surprised LeBron is LeBron going to take tomorrow off? I'm surprised LeBron played this game and took this game off and didn't play tomorrow night. So I'm hoping he'll play both games, but the importance of winning tomorrow and now winning every game is key to get the Lakers on a run, John.
I think playing patty cake right now is not going to work. He's got 22 games left. You got to go.
Yeah.
Every game.
Yeah.
Let him know, Joe. Let every single game. There's no chance for him to do these little patty cake games. I love the way you describe that, Joe. And
what if he would have sat out and played in tomorrow's game, Joe? Would you have gone to rant then?
Oh, no doubt. Oh yeah, it would have been bad. I don't even know if I would have watched the game tonight if that would have happened. But I didn't think he was going to do that. I mean, come on.
So what are your thoughts, John?
I mean, I said it earlier. LeBron has to play in literally every single game. I don't care if they bring up a freaking middle school team at this point. Like, this Lakers team is so inconsistent that it could just so happen to be that, like, there's like a middle schooler who's like the second coming of like Jesus Christ and doesn't miss any shots, and because that's who we're playing with that night, who we're playing against that night. So I don't care. LeBron has to play in every single game moving forward, because there's no more of those winnable games that he punted that we should have won. I remember I said on the live, I counted like five winnable games that LeBron James has punted, but no more. I don't care if it's the Wizards or I don't care who it is. We gotta get this, LeBron.
This is one of the greatest performances in the regular season for LeBron James. Joe, let me say this, and thank you so much again. Appreciate all the love from our Facebook friends out there: Manuel, Alfonso, Bernie, Johnny, and Hess, and also as well Harrison. Thanks so much again for appreciating us here at the Lakers Fast Break, and also, of course, our YouTube and Twitter followers as well. Joe, this is probably one of the greatest regular season performances for LeBron, not only because the age factor, but the fact is, as noted by George Sedano, this is the largest fourth quarter comeback win by a LeBron James team ever in his career. He outscored the Clippers by himself 19-16 in the fourth quarter.
Yes, it's definitely one for the regular season LeBron accolades. That's for sure. I don't know if I could say it was his best fourth quarter. I'd say his best fourth quarter was probably
I said one of the. I didn't say it was
one.
best.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
This is the biggest comeback he's ever had in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was definitely number one for since he's been a Laker for sure. I'm sure he's had some games like that in Cleveland. And
He's
Miami.
never come back from this far deficit in the fourth quarter in his career ever.
They needed it, and they needed it. And if they win tomorrow, that would be the first time they've been 5 games over 500 since December 13th, which is 2.5 months ago. Before they go into Denver next, and I'd like to think that they're due against Denver. Winning that game is going to be important. So they're going to have a few days off to get themselves mentally ready for that. And then after that, it's a gauntlet, guys. Granted, it is at home, but it's going to be a gauntlet on if they're going to earn this or not. You're talking Oklahoma City after that, Sacramento, Milwaukee, Minnesota, and then they got to go do a puddle jumper out to Sacramento a few days after Minnesota, and then they'll have a couple days off, come back, play Golden State, Atlanta, the Sixers, and Indiana, which Golden State, again, is winnable. Atlanta is winnable. Philly, winnable. Indiana plays tough. You should, probably end up 3-1 out of that last 4 games. But the hardest ones are going to be the first 6. Denver, Oklahoma City, Sacramento, Milwaukee, Minnesota, and Sacramento. You're going to, if you want to get out of that gauntlet, you need to, with some positiveness, you want to get out 4-2 out of that if you can. 4-2. 4-2 is good. And then if you can go 3-1 the last 4 games after they get back from Sacramento, that puts you at 7. What is that? 4-2 and then 3, 7 and 3.
So I was thinking 17-6 in the final 23 games, which was tonight. This was 23 games left tonight. 17-6, is that doable, Joe?
17-6. Yeah, it is.
If you include tonight's game.
Yeah, it's too short of what I hoped for, but sure. If they're playing well, if they play well, very possible. If they play above well, they could make a run here. But yeah, I'd say.
I mean, it's similar to the 18-8 run they ran on last year.
I don't know if I want to do a prediction. I really don't.
Okay, I'm just asking if it sounds feasible.
Because I feel like every time I do that, it doesn't go.
I'm not asking you to make a prediction. I'm just asking if it sounds feasible.
No,
sounds
not at this moment. I got to see a couple more wins against those big teams.
Okay, fair enough. It is like they were rated with 23 games left in the top 10 as far as hardest schedules. So I will definitely give you that. But John, I'll bring the question to you. I mentioned during playback, I said that I was thinking 17-6 is something they would have to do in order to go ahead and gain any type of advantage on the rest of the Western Conference. They do, again, have one of the harder schedules left out, although it gets very easy tomorrow night, notwithstanding. 17-6, is that something that's feasible? Is that something that's doable in your mind as far as the Lakers are concerned?
Doable it is, because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So doable it is, but
But let's say they don't go to religion. Let's say they don't go to church and, as far as non-denomination, what have you. Let's say just based on talent alone and what they've got right now, the package they go right now. Let's say on that sense alone, my friend, do you think that it's feasible that they can go 17-6? I threw that out there.
Yeah. Z, you took the words out of my mouth. That is a tough hill to climb.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of, maybe I'm throwing on those purple and gold glasses, those purple and gold blinders. And I want to say yes, but guys,
That's hard.
We see the way we've been playing this season.
Yeah.
Like I think that I want to respect myself and respect my basketball knowledge and respect what I've seen and respect my takes than just to be out there trying to just be throwing favoritism for our team. I don't think that we can do a 17-6. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like 14-9, but Sunday Ace said 14-9.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna compliment.
Yeah,
I was gonna compliment Sunday on that was more realistic. Saying
absolutely.
14-9.
Definitely.
But that's the problem, though. 14-9 against the rest of the Western Conference, Joe. That's not enough to get them above really where they are right now. I don't even think a 14-9 will get them the 2 games gap that they're currently behind. I don't think that will allow them to close out that gap in the Western Conference with a 14-9 record. I think that would probably leave them still 9th or 10th in Western Conference, Joe.
9th and 10th, you play with a lot of pressure to win. It's very hard to win at the 9 and 10 spots. They're probably going to start focusing on trying to get the number 7 at the very least. You can guarantee yourself at least an 8 seed if you get the 7. So they're 3 games back, the 2 teams that are 7 and 8 right now in the loss column. They have to make a run. They have to make a 4 or 5 game run to threaten that. If they win 2 and then lose 1, win 2, lose 1, and then the other team kind of does the same thing, or go win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, that needle's not going to move. Lakers have to make a run here at home, and they're going to need to go 7-3 the next 10 games. Okay. That would help. That would help. And even then, what if the teams that they're behind go 6-4? They only make up 1 game. You see how hard it is to make up that ground?
Yeah.
It's very difficult. There's going to have to be a collapse by those teams this late in the season. And then I don't see Dallas collapsing. I don't really see the Sacramento Kings collapsing, even though they got whooped tonight by Denver. But, they were in Denver. They got whooped by a better team.
Well, maybe they do need to go to church. Anything at this point is greatly appreciated and helped. So,
yeah, if church is your thing, I would, definitely do that. There is a light, but it's very dim for the Lakers. And the only thing they can do now is focus on the last 22 games. That's all they can do at this point. They've played 60 games. They've been terrible on the road. They're 12-19 on the road, okay at home, and they're 32-28 right now. And I'm still going to stick to the fact that if they want to guarantee themselves a playoff run, they have to go on an unprecedented run, which is they're going to have to win 18 of the next 22 games and win 50 games.
So with that, John, I want to ask you this. And once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Sorrell from Simblades with a Y.com. John Costa from Lakers Corner and Clutch Talk. Please go ahead and support them whenever you can. Plus, also like and subscribe to get the latest notifications on when we go live with the latest Lakers Fast Break podcast, including tonight after our post game. It's Joe Sorrell with Lakers Nightcap, where he's talking Sopranos, the Lakers, Clippers, and more. But John, again, it's a tough and tall task. Zangerstein said it best. It's a tall task to go ahead and try and gain ground. But if they can do it within the next 10 games, like you were talking about how crucial this next 10 games are. If they can gain some ground, if they can gain another game, a game and a half, maybe it's not so unrealistic after all, John. Got you on mute. You're on mute.
Man, Gerald. I mean, I want to say that maybe it's not so realistic, but I mean, it's like, let's look at this. Wizards, okay, we should win that. But again, here's the Lakers, right? Like, we're the type of team to like lose to the Wizards and then beat the Nuggets.
Well, if Jamie Sweet was here, aka Admiral Akbar, he would say it's a trap. That's for
it's
sure.
a trap. Yeah, it's a trap game. So it's like, yeah, we're the type of team to where we'll lose to the Wizards and then like beat the Nuggets. But like I said, that 10-game stretch is tough.
Wizards, well, they can get a game if they win tomorrow and the Kings lose on the road at Minnesota. That is a big game heading into next week. They could literally, with the right luck, be tied next week when those two teams faced off on the 6th.
And it's gotta go our way. It's kind of like I was saying earlier with because of the situation that we've put ourselves into. It's our fate is not in our hands anymore. And I kind of think back to, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago when the Lakers had gotten knocked out of the playoffs, and it was all because the Kings had won a game. And I actually don't live too far from Sacramento. I went up to the game and the Kings weren't even playing the Lakers. They were playing a whole different team, but it was like all standings wise, if they won a game, we'd get knocked out. And that sucks. It's like, you know, when your fate is in somebody else's hands, but that only happens because you've allowed yourself to get there, because you've done something to allow yourself to get there, because you didn't take care of the situation when you should have took care of the situation at the right time. And now this is your fate. And now we just can, like I said, pray. We can win games and do what we need to do on our end and legitimately just pray, to be honest. Things go our way.
I did want to mention, Kurt was asking how many more back-to-backs we have left. I want to go ahead and mention them now too before I go ahead with with you, Joy. I just want to go ahead and say that the Lakers have a back-to-back at Milwaukee and at the Grizzlies on the 26th and 27th of March. They have the next one that they have would be on April 2nd and April 3rd against at the Raptors and at the Wizards. And then the last one that they have, I believe, is on the 6th and the 7th of April versus the Cavaliers at home and then versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. So that's not going to be any fun, Joe, when they play those 3 back-to-backs. But this is what happens when you punt games, when you talked about, in fact, we were talking and going back and forth, myself with the community, on how many games Darvin Ham has lost as far as his coaching is concerned. You said 10 games he's lost for this team over the decisions that he's made this year. I said between 5 and 7. That's still a lot. And it's because of that you're now find yourself behind the 8 ball as you head into this tough stretch of games to close out the season, Joe.
Yeah, if you look back on the schedule, you can see some of the games that they should have won. That last few weeks is going to be brutal.
Yeah,
they go on the road for that. It's almost like a second Grammy trip.
Even that home, Joe, that home back-to-back where they have Cleveland one night, Minnesota the next. That's not
and they're traveling to the crap area of the Midwest and all the way to the East Coast.
Yep.
We're talking Northeast. We're talking Brooklyn, Toronto, Washington. So imagine they're going to have this run at home for a month, but then they got to go on the road for 2 weeks.
At least the Toronto game is not like a 12 o'clocker, like on a weekend.
Even the
Like
last, even the last 2 games of the season, they have to be in Memphis and New Orleans. The last 2 games, it's tough. It's not likely they're going to. It's just not likely they're not going to be at least a 9 or a 10 seed in my book. It's just too difficult, and their depth is not really that good. They've lost too many guys that would have probably helped. They didn't do themselves enough in the draft to have maybe another integral part from the draft. They haven't. They have 5 starters right now that are doing their best and playing well. Every single starter is playing well, and they're going to have to ride that. And they're going to have to ride that for the rest of the season, including the playoffs. So Darvin Ham's going to have to play the starters all of the first, all the fourth, and then half of the second and half of the third, essentially. So what does that come out to? 36 minutes. 36 minutes, everyone's going to have to play, especially with the strength and schedule the rest of the way. If there was a Washington here, a Charlotte there, to season in between those games, then you could pick your spots. Let Spencer Dinwiddie play about 25, 30 minutes in those games to spell LeBron. But they don't have any room for error in those games. So they're gonna have to play their guys.
Zangerstein said it's not just 10 games, it's 50 games because of having Torian Prince in the starting lineup. She's very adamant. I think her, Alan, and Adam are all in the I Hate Torian Prince fan club, or non-fan club indeed. But it is the Lakers fast break. Again, this hatred. The proof's in the pudding. I mean, you look at the analytics. When he plays above 25 minutes, the team is worse than 500. When he plays under 25 minutes, they're undefeated. So I guess that there's a point there. But John, let me bring it back to you, my friend. For at least a couple seasons now, we, as a community, we're like dreading LeBron. And I know some of the guys gals out there who really were against LeBron. One of the things they'd love to point out was the fact that, oh man, we just cannot stand when he chucks up threes and he goes 0 for 7 from 3 or whatnot. And I can't say I blame them. I cannot say I blame them because it was not a great part, including this season, where they were still saying, as far as chucking up threes. But John, he's above 40% coming into this game, and he sure as heck now well above that with a game like today. Do you tell LeBron to stop chucking up threes when he's been hitting it so well, especially after a fourth quarter like tonight, John?
No, not at all. I mean, I think, and you guys that are out there with the numbers with the computers. I know I got a computer in front of me, but this is from what I've seen last time I was looking at preparing for the live stream. LeBron is the second best shooter on our team, like numbers wise. I'm pretty sure it's D'Lo at 41% from the 3-point line and LeBron at 40% from the 3-point line. Again, don't quote me on that, but I believe that is true, or top 2 or top 3. But what I will say is that you don't tell LeBron James, don't take this shot. Like what? Like who on this team could say that? Not a single soul on this team, in my opinion, can tell LeBron James, hey, don't take this shot, because I think that I'd rather give it to Rui, or I'd rather give it to D'Lo to take the shot. Like I just don't think that this team just isn't good enough. I wish this team was good enough to where I could be like, LeBron, don't take that shot. You crazy? But we're talking about literally the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. I'm not telling him to not take any shot. If you want to take a 3,
well, last year we were telling him not to take those threes because it was not as pretty as above 40% this time last year, my friend.
I'll give you that. But last year, I feel like we just had this all around
Alan,
collective group.
Rui is at 41%. So the Lakers now have 3-point shooters, John. And it's something I want to say that I don't want them to become reliant on the 3-pointer, because that really takes away from what they do best. Transition game, getting to the free throw line. That's exactly what they did best. That's what got them to the playoffs. That's what got them to. If you take a look at their 2020, they were really good in transition defense, transition, and getting to the free throw line there as well. But get now these days, they've added, Joe, a 3-point barrage. Again, they might be taking a little bit more threes than some would like, but with Rui, LeBron, and D'Lo hitting him, plus Austin Reeves, he's not as bad as he once was. In fact, the whole team is not even anywhere near as bad as they once were, John and Joe. Especially the first part of this thing. They're now a middle of the pack team, 3-point shooting. Does it change your perspective on how many they should shoot now?
Realistically, if I could jump in here real quick, Joe.
By all means, by all means.
I think that we should not change our identity. And I've said this so many times on this stream. I do not think we should change our identity. We are a team that goes inside, bruises the paint. We are going to kill you inside. We're trying to score 50 to 60 points in the paint because that's what we do. I don't think we should change our identity. But I do believe that, if it's a night like this and we're hitting, okay, let's run with it. But the biggest thing is have that ability to adjust. If the shot is not hidden, okay, the shot is not hidden. Threes are up and down. I love what Darren said in the chat. You can't make them if you don't take them, right? Like you miss every shot you don't take. So get them up there. Like, and I kind of think to this whenever I play basketball, like when I go play rec or I play in this adult league, right? Every game that I play, I like to take the first shot in the first shot of the game. Okay. Well, the first possession, because if I hit, okay, great. I hit. Now I'm feeling myself. I saw the ball go through the hoop for the first shot. But if I don't hit, it is what it is. That was the first shot. I'm getting it out the way because you miss every shot you don't take. So what I'll say is I don't want us to get away from our identity of being a team that bruises people down in the paint and inside. But I do think that if it's there, we need to take advantage of it like tonight.
Now you just let it out to everyone. You just let out your secret. So as soon as you get the ball the first time, people go shot.
First possession. If you guard, if anybody here plays with me, pick up basketball, play rec. If you go know me, I'm gonna take the shot in that first possession. I guarantee. And whether I'm gonna take it to the hoop, a three is something. I'm gonna take that first shot though.
I used to defend when I played defense. First thing I would say to somebody I know was going to rebound instantly before they even got the shot up, and they'd be just like, "Man, you rebound, okay, messed you up, didn't it?" That's part of the point of playing defense. LA Slappies, getting you right there, aka Joe Soro. What are your thoughts, my friend? Do you think because the Lakers have found some newfound love behind the arc that they should experiment with it a little more often?
I didn't notice them taking ill-advised threes. When you have an open shot, you take it.
Yeah.
You create the offense so that your best 3-point play, that volleyball three that D'Lo made, that was a brilliant pass by LeBron to find him that late in the shot clock. A 3-point shot is only as good as its make. Even whether it's open, whether it's contested, whether it's from 24, whether it's from 23 feet, doesn't matter. The shots that LeBron made were desperation shots to some degree, but he made them. He kept making them, and it made a difference. But it was a combination of not only that, also it was momentum shifting plays on the defensive end. They played the last 8-9 minutes the way you have to play. They're capable of doing this. They have the ability to do it. The question is, can they continue to do it game in and game out? And this isn't, other than LeBron, this is a young team. Rui's young. D'Lo's young. Austin's young. AD's 30 years old. That's encouraging when you ask, can they make it happen? Age-wise is not going to be a problem. Health-wise, everyone is healthy. So, but you can't rely on LeBron to hit 6 threes or 7 threes either. Well, he hit 5 actually.
He had 7.
Did he hit 7? Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. Sorry.
But you can't count on that every single game.
No, and it's not just that; it's the energy too. The energy you just cannot rely on that energy. At least not right now. Maybe in the playoffs when you have to.
Like tomorrow night, for instance.
Tomorrow night,
I don't expect LeBron to give you the same kind of performance tomorrow.
I'd like to see the Lakers play well enough so that LeBron doesn't have to play the fourth, and neither would AD. That's it. That's one thing they've done this year that they didn't do last year was they've had fourth quarters where AD and LeBron did not play. Way more. I think they had one last year from my memory. They had more in the playoffs than they did in the regular season. I would like LeBron to play 28 minutes tomorrow, have a comfortable lead going to the fourth. AD, same thing, and then let Austin, D'Lo, and Rui just drop 20, 20, 20 each. Win the game. Let the bench score about 10, 15 points, win 115 to 103. Something like that. And then get ready for Denver.
One thing I want to ask you before we head on out, we still got a few minutes left before Joe hosts his nightcap, where he'll be talking The Sopranos, Lakers, Clippers, and more. Go ahead and check it out. Lakers Nightcap with Joe Soro.
And we have a surprise tonight. So if you guys want to wait, I got a surprise for everyone.
Yes, he will have a surprise indeed. John, I want to go ahead and ask you this. When it comes right down to it, the Lakers have to go ahead and get that second win back to back. They have to go ahead and start putting wins together. Coming out of the All-Star break, they were really struggling, going 1-2. Absolutely not the way you want to start the All-Star break. I mean, start coming off the All-Star break with a record like that. They have to start stringing some wins together. Do you feel confident in the Lakers being able to do that after a performance like tonight? What do you feel could come out of an inspirational victory like the Lakers had tonight?
I think what can come out of it is roll. And this is not just with the Lakers. This is with any team like in the NBA because basketball is about a game of momentum and rhythm, and sometimes like momentum works just in games, but sometimes momentum can work like in seasons, and you can just you're just rolling and you're clicking on all cylinders. Now it's not as common as you'll see in games, like in literally probably every single basketball game every night. There's like probably like 12 games on a night or something like that, 10 games on a night. Every single game, I guarantee there's some type of momentum, and it's possible for the Lakers to do it, but I'll be honest, guys, like we've seen some other great wins. Like we've seen some great wins this season. Granted, like I said in the beginning, and I'm going to continue to stand on business about it. Like this is one of my favorite wins, like personally. But we've seen some great wins this season, and then the next game we turn around and poop the bed. So I'm gonna be honest, like I think that yes, it's possible for us to roll, and I hope that we get this win on the Wizards, and that really helps us. But after the Wizards, like I don't even think, and I say this reluctantly because every game matters, but I feel like the analogy that I'm thinking of in my head, I want us looking over the Clippers and just thinking straight to the Nuggets. Like I see you right there, Wizards, but I'm so not worried about you that I'm worried about what's next in this tough stretch of games after that. So we gotta get a win. I feel like at the end of the day, it's the easiest way to say it. Every game matters. Let's show up. And then just to real quick add on something that Alan was saying about like maybe not playing LeBron tomorrow. Like, I don't know. I think we should do it the way that Joe said it, right? It's like play him, but let's be able to dominate this game to where he could be sitting, preferably like into the third, to be real. But if we can get it sitting for the entire fourth, that'd be great. But
you can't. At this point, you can't, John.
Mm-hmm.
It's crucial for the Lakers to win games. You can no longer punt games, Joe. So you have to have them play because you don't have the confidence in the rest of your team to get the job done, even against a Washington, Joe. I don't at this point. They have to prove it to me in order to do so because they came off with great victory in Utah without LeBron. And I think it was without AD. They had the great victory in Boston without LeBron and AD. I'm sorry. They didn't have LeBron in Utah. But they've had some other terrible – the Houston game, for example. Yeah, just absolutely just I don't have the confidence that the Lakers can get it done without LeBron at least giving you 20 to 25 minutes tomorrow night, Joe.
I'm not worried about tomorrow's game, to be honest. The Lakers should win, and I believe they will. My focus will be on Denver and the rest of the homestand with the Sacramento detour. If they lose to Washington tomorrow, then okay, nothing we haven't seen before where they throw out a dud. But they win tomorrow, it still doesn't mean much. It still needs to be the Denvers and the Milwaukees and the Minnesotas and Oklahoma Cities, the Sacramentos. Those games are the ones I'm going to be paying attention to because they can set their mark there. They can make up a lot of ground. And I say make up a lot of ground, at least measuring from the measuring stick standpoint. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back. I really don't. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back and get a playoff win with this tough schedule. And with that, I am going to also sign off and get ready for the nightcap.
Okay.
So I'm going to let Gerald end the show, or I should say let them caboose the show at this point.
I'll hang out with you guys for another 15 minutes or so. It is the Lakers fast break, so I'll go ahead and do that. So Joe, peace out. We can't wait to see who your special thing is going to be on the Lakers nightcap. I'm so excited for it. You just hear it in my voice.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Yeah, may the Schwartz be with you indeed, my friend. But hopefully you'll have a good show. Join Joe Soro tonight at 11 p.m. Lakers nightcap, talking the Sopranos, and also as well the Lakers as well. But coming up right out to you right now, it's Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching, listening. It is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 116 to 112. Again, they're in 9th place in the Western Conference. They're 32 and 28, just 2 games behind Sacramento in the chase for a play-in or a better play-in or even a playoff spot in the Western Conference. Alice says, cool, bro, you talk everything but basketball. That is correct, Alice. He'll talk everything but basketball. He's only, I think, a casual basketball fan, but enjoys our community. I think the fact that he enjoys our community is something special about what we've created here that you've helped to create right here at the Lakers Fast Break. But the Lakers, I will say, again, a very impressive performance by LeBron. I know we do have a LeBron hater in the chat right now, Josh from Mars 20, but thank you for watching, Josh from Mars 20. I know that you know that you're not telling the truth at all when you're saying stuff like that, as far as LeBron didn't play well tonight. LeBron was carried tonight. I have a feeling you either didn't watch the fourth quarter or you're lying through your teeth. So I'm assuming it's the latter and that you have enough intelligence to realize that, but we'll see. It's okay. But it is the Lakers fast break. It is Gerald Glassford right here. Thanks so much again. Big shout out to Laker Nick. Also as well, Henry Hill from Courtside Lakers. Follow Courtside Lakers on Instagram. Please go ahead and do so because I post all of our latest game episodes right there on Courtside Lakers on Instagram. Also at Lakers Fast Break on Instagram as well. Follow us there if you can. Also as well, of course, Stone Hansen. Big shout out to Stone Hansen, Henry Hill, Laker Nick, also Joe Soro, who are a great part of our Playback.tv simulcast coverage. Looking forward to seeing what we can do tomorrow night against the Washington Wizards. Cool bro, Joshua LeGoat is goated. Okay, whatever. Yes, if you take a look up Cool bro in the chat, somebody was the usual LeBron hater was in the chat after he had he had actually quite a bit more than 2 points, Joshua. I don't think it's the game. I think you're getting confused with someone else if that's the case, or you're doing a very, very bad job of trolling. I mean, that's probably one of the worst trolling jobs I've seen in my life. If you can't do a good job trolling, don't do it at all, would be my best suggestion. But it is the Lakers fast break. Joe Soro is coming up in less than 15 minutes with, of course, Lakers nightcap right there for you. Kubro says, but literally, Gerald, that was a very amazing. Yes, I'm glad you had a good history class and a good debate there. I'm glad you had some great things going on, but I do want to go ahead. Yes, Sean, the Podfather, is left holding the bag, but it's great. I'm here with you talking Lakers as we go ahead and head on into the home stretch here for the last few minutes of Lakers Fast Break post game. The Lakers do win 116-112, but I want to hear your thoughts out there. Please let me know. What is the Lakers record going forward? Include tonight's games. So the last 23 games, including tonight, will give the Lakers a win. Go one up. What is your thoughts? What are your thoughts on what the Lakers can realistically do? Sunday's 14-9, I think, was probably what is closer to what I'm thinking as well. 14-9. Now 17-6, I think the Lakers, if they do that, can actually make a jump forward if they're able to do that, but I'm not sure. I don't have the confidence that they'll be able to put that together. By the way, Cobro, it is the Two Towers. I will go ahead and ask you out there, everyone, what do you think the Lakers record will be in the next 23 games, including tonight? We're going to go ahead and say, I'm going to say it's closer to what Sunday said, 14-9. Am I wrong? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in chat in the comments. Actually, even if you're watching this later on or you're answering on, put it in the comments below. We'd love to go ahead and hear your thoughts on what the Lakers record, including tonight's game, will be as they close out the season with a very tough schedule. In fact, one of the top 10 toughest schedules for the rest of the way out. Tomorrow's night's game notwithstanding, because that is against the Washington Wizards here at the Crypto.com Arena. Looking forward to that. But they're playing also as well on the 2nd against the Denver Nuggets. So it goes after that, after the Wizards. Get this. Nuggets, Thunder, Kings, Bucks, and Timberwolves. All at home. And then you go out on the road at the Kings. You come back home for the Warriors. That's not a pleasant homestand by any stretch of the imagination. And the Lakers are going to have to get shooting like they did in the fourth quarter in order to go ahead and get it done. Sean says 13-10 because the schedule is tough and this team is inconsistent. I'm not going to say I'm not going to disagree with you, Sean. That's actually very astute on your part. You're taking your fandom, putting it to the side a little bit and thinking clearly with the realistic expectations out of that. Now, I'm hoping for both you and I that they exceed those expectations and then some, but 13-10, 14-9, I think it's going to be something. Plus, the Lakers, again, will have to be out there. They will not be able to most likely rest anybody. So the back end of the schedule, as it gets closer to the end of the season, the Lakers will have no choice but to put out and keep out their starters while other teams may be resting. The Minnesotas, the Clippers, the Denver Nuggets of the world, those guys, Oklahoma City, those guys, as it gets closer to the end of the season, those guys, or with already that's locked up already high seeds, they're going to go ahead and rest some of their guys. So hopefully the Lakers will take advantage of that and may be able to sneak in and get another 1 or 2 wins when they weren't supposed to, with a full and healthy top team right there. So let's hopefully that will happen. Gerald, why don't the LFB want to get it? Well, that's up to them, cool bro. That's always up to them. Alfonso, that is a grueling stretch. Big shout out to you on Facebook, Alfonso. Yes, absolutely. That is a brutal stretch. Let me go ahead and let you guys know again one more time what they've got ahead. The Wizards is the easiest game coming up for us, and that's coming up tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Of course, we got it covered right for you here at the Lakers Fast Break. Pre-game, got you post-game, during the game with the simulcast, and of course, Lakers Nightcap with Joe Soro topping it all off. Got the Denver Nuggets coming up after that on the 2nd of March. Then you've got the Thunder, the Kings, the Bucks, Timberwolves. All those games are at home, but all those teams are top East or West right there for you. Then you've got at the Kings, and then you come back home on the 16th of March against the Golden State Warriors. That doesn't even include the back end. That includes the Hawks, the Sixers, the Bucks again on the road. Yeah, just some tough stuff. And then, of course, you got another Timberwolves game on the horizon after that, and you end your season with a game against the Warriors and also a game against the Pelicans on tap as well against some tough teams. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough time getting those. Sean said he would love to see something more than 17-6. I would love to see a 17-6, something like that. But again, it's going to be a tall task with what they've got ahead, even if they are playing at home. Chris says, can these Lakers beat the Nuggets? What will it take? Excellent question. It's going to take an effort like you saw in that fourth quarter, Chris. If they shoot the lights out like they did tonight in that fourth quarter, they can compete with anybody. But then again, we don't see that usually against the Nuggets. The Nuggets usually have a fair defensive game plan that stifles the Lakers, that seems to go ahead and be able to get the job done for the most part. Sean says Ham needs to trap Murray at the end of games if he ever wants to beat the Nuggets. I agree. You also got to make sure that you got AD is not foul trouble, because when AD gets in foul trouble, as we saw in Phoenix, he becomes very passive. He let Jokic dominate him on the offensive rebounds, and that was a killer for them against Phoenix. So JSJ says, I can't wait for the nightcap. So it's coming up in 7 minutes. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. Hopefully you'll be able to go ahead and experience it. Cool Bro says, hey, Gerald, what if people start writing reviews on me on Apple Podcasts? Well, there you go. They'll be, sure you'll find out. You'll find out, Cool Bro, and it'll be great, I'm sure, as far as for everyone out there, that you could say you were on a review for Apple Podcasts. JSJ says, Gerald, can Rui guard Jokic? JSJ, I will say, remember, he did fare initially well against Jokic, but after a while, Mike Malone and the Nuggets figured that out as far as Jokic figuring out how to play against Rui. So I don't know how much you can go back to it. If you tease it, if you don't rely on it, if you can go ahead and give it some burn, I would try it again, because if you play against the Timberwolves, guess what? Rui is going to go play against Cat, and he's done a fairly effective job against Cat as well. So I would try it, but I wouldn't rely on it, because if you're going to stick out Rui Hashimura on Jokic for an extended period of time, as we saw in the playoffs, you saw declining returns, and that's something I would be very wary of. If you mix it up, a good coach will mix it up and be able to get the job done that way. So we'll see. Alfonso said, is Wood playing? No, Alfonso, he is still out at least another week. He has got a knee issue, swelling in the knee. They're going to reevaluate him here, I believe, in another week, because it was a 2-week timetable before they reevaluate how good his knee is. They say it's not as serious as Gabe Vincent's knee injury was before he had surgery. They rushed Gabe Vincent back on the court, and you saw how bad that did for the Lakers. He only played 1 game and then had to have surgery, and then he's out. He's still out. He's not even back on the court yet as part of his rehab. Him and Vando are not back on the court yet, so they're weeks away from coming back on the court for the Lakers. But yes, I would say Wood is probably at least another week or 2 at the most, or at the earliest, before they go ahead and allow him back on the court. But yes, they will reevaluate his knee soreness and swelling in a week's time, and we'll see from there. They, if it is still bad though, Alfonso, be prepared to hear that he might be done for the season. So we'll see. JSJ said, I would rather start Hayes with AD, but Ham will never do that. Hayes he's very polarizing, JSJ. I mean, it is just neither, there's no steadiness in Hayes. It's either pretty good or pretty bad. And his defense, the way he cannot rotate, sometimes he gets lost on defense. It's absolutely terrible at times. He gets lost in the pick and roll. Do you remember seeing when he got burned time and time again by Trace Jackson Davis against the Golden State Warriors? He can get confused and lost in a pick and roll defense quite a bit. But then you have the times where he looks like he's a defender. He could go up and contest, and he's obviously available for lobs. It's just very hard to figure out. But overall, I've not been that impressed by him. You could try it and start him, but if that's the case, JSJ, I would rather not, because your starting lineup now is 7-1. Why do you want to mess with a good thing? Rui Hashimura, since he's been inserted to the starting lineup, is 7-1. That to me is something you really try to stay away from as far as moving someone else into the starting lineup. I would really like to see them stick to that. The problem is, though, your bench has been underperforming and has given you virtually nothing this entire time. So the Lakers are relying heavily on their starters going forward. Yeah, JSJ, you cannot mess with 7-1 right now. Now, if it goes the other way, of course, try some different things. But for right now, in this tough stretch of games, you got to go what brought you to the dance. And the Lakers are 7-1 with the starting lineup, especially after tonight's victory. Guess what they did down the fourth quarter? They played their starting lineup. They took out Prince. They took out Reddish. They put in the starting lineup for the bulk of the minutes on the fourth quarter, and it paid off. Rui hit a clutch three. You saw D'Angelo hitting some shots. Austin Reeves didn't have a great game, but was steady on defense. And that's something I wanted to go ahead and mention. I've been very, very on him about his defense. And overall, his defense, he gets picked on a lot. Let's just put it out there. But today, Norman Powell, he did get hit a couple times. I will say he did get burned a couple times, but there were some possessions where Austin Reeves should get a lot of credit for playing great effort on defense, and he deserves a lot of that. In the first quarter, in the first half, it wasn't so pretty, but I will say in that fourth quarter, the Lakers defense tightened up, and we saw what can happen when the Lakers give you effort and execution, and that's what counts for me. Once again, they did up their prices. They're supposed to be doing digital, menu boards as well at Wendy's, and so I don't know. They're also talking about. I don't think they denied it, but they were. There was rumors they were talking about dynamic pricing, like during heavy periods, raising the price, and then with their new digital menu boards. But I don't think they're going to go ahead and do that. They get a lot of flack for that, and social media would break out in a big detail if they did. But once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 116-112 with a comeback, 21 points down. Absolutely incredible comeback. LeBron James went wild. 7-12 from the three-point area. Just absolutely clutch in the fourth quarter. 19 points, outscoring the Clippers by himself in the fourth quarter. Absolutely incredible performance. We'll be back tomorrow again for the pregame. During the game, as far as playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, post-game, of course, and of course, Nightcap with Joe Soro as well. But for right now, it's Lakers Nightcap with Joe Soro. Hopefully, you will enjoy what he has in store for you as far as a big surprise. What is the surprise? I don't know what the surprise is. Well, actually, I do. All right, I do. I know what the surprise is. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Hopefully you'll enjoy the conversation in regards to Sopranos, Lakers and Clippers, and so much more. It is coming up tonight. It is coming up next. It's Lakers Nightcap with Joe Soro. So for Joe Soro, also as well, John Costa, go ahead and give a big shout out at Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner. Also as well, of course, are the people that were responsible for the great playback we had, including Stone Hansen, Henry Hill from Courtside Laker Nick. Big shout out to him as well. Who gave us the idea for our first Lakers VIP. Congratulations once again, Alan Gervais. Truly appreciated him and his cooperation and as far as his patience with us trying to get that work together. And then, of course, also as well, everyone out there in the chat, everywhere that's out there. The best Lakers chat room that's out there and the best Lakers channel that's out there is nowhere else. But go ahead and find Lakers Nightcap because you'll find it right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Have a great evening, one. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.